it's Krista from Covering the Bases and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I am a fashion blogger. I'm a fashion blogger, travel blogger, lifestyle, wah, ha, 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 ha. And now I'm a YouTuber. I'm weird, so welcome. This video actually started out as a comparison between the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 foundation and the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation, and then it kind of spiraled into a comparison of like my two favorites in each category. So that's what we're actually gonna do. It's a comparison video, and I'm talking really fast, I'm sorry. A comparison video of all of my favorite makeups. There we go. So I'll stop. Enjoy. I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Hydrating Foundation in the color Fair Light Neutral and the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 Concealer in the shade number 2, which is Alabaster. We're gonna do the Tarte Shape Tape on this side and the Clinique on this side, and to mix it in, I'm actually gonna use the Morphe Beauty Sponge. I'm just really taking this, just kind of moving it all over. What I like about both of these, obviously, because they're pretty similar and while we're doing this test, is that you can just kind of use that applicator and really easily put this on your face. What I really liked about this is it was very hydrating, and I remember really falling in love with it when I went to Dublin because I actually forgot my concealer, and so this is a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, so what I did is actually used it as that. We're going to use it today as that as well. Just kind of really pounce that in. Now we're gonna go in with the Tarte Shape Tape in the hydrating formula. So I actually just posted a video about the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation review. I reviewed the hydrating and the matte formulas side by side, kind of like what I'm doing with this Clinique one. So if you wanted to check that out, I'll leave a link down below. Spoiler alert, I really liked both of them. The hydrating one is more my speed. Okay, so looking at it up close, I have my handy dandy little mirror. The Clinique side is definitely more hydrating, and I kind of like the finish that it gives off. This side is definitely still really hydrated, but not as much. I'm actually, since we're doing a little compare test, I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Eye Primer on this side, and then the MAC Paint Pot on this side, just on the eyelids, to see what kind of holds up better. Just first kind of putting it on my eyelid with applicator and then blending it in with my finger. So the MAC Paint Pot is definitely less creamy, but I feel like it kind of sticks to like the base of your eye better, if that makes any sense. Put on the Smashbox. This is once again in the color Goals. I'm gonna use this light color right here, and we're just gonna kind of set both sides. So as I say, this side, the MAC Paint Pot, shows up a lot more. So now we're gonna go with the Charlotte Tilbury in the color Jean. This is their Eyes to Memorize. It's just so beautiful. It's like this really nice gold champagne color. It's just a really great base for every day. I'm actually gonna take the darker shade today, and just kind of put that on the outer part to give it a little bit of definition, but not anything crazy. We're gonna dip the flat brush into the dark color, and then we're just gonna kind of put this, stamp it on the base of the eyelashes. Kind of make it look like we have eyeliner on, but not actually. So this side I'm gonna do the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this is in the color Vanilla, and on this side I will do the Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light. So I really like to make sure that I get in the inner corner. I feel like that's where I lose the most light. And then for the Shape Tape, I kind of do the same thing. Just kind of blend that out. Really make sure to get, I like to bring the concealer up to my under eye, and then out. With the NARS side, it's actually a little bit more creamy, so I really like to use a brush, and then kind of blur out the edges. Pop in that corner. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion Brush. And then obviously I always go over it with the Beauty Blender, just to blur out any brush strokes. So the Shape Tape foundation with the concealer, I think, is like a duo not to be messed with. They just work so well together. I mean, it blended out so easy. It covers really well. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Secret Under Eye Brightening Powder. Just kind of press that in, making sure to get up to the inner corner, and then also kind of just blend it out. And then we'll do the same thing for the other side. So to set the face, I'm gonna test out Beauty Cosmetics CC Cream on this side and the Charlotte Tilbury on the other side. So what I do is I'm just kind of picking this up and then placing it in. I don't want to kind of move anything around. For the other side, we're doing the same thing. We're trying to kind of pounce that in. And we're gonna do the compare test. And so looking up close, I actually like this side better. And I put the CC on this side, the It Cosmetics on this side, because I like this better overall, but damn, this looks good, Carl. Next, we're gonna go in with the mascaras. I'm actually gonna do a comparison of the base primers. So this is the Dior Show, and this is the Givenchy. So I really like to coat the lashes with as much product as possible. We're gonna use YSL the Shock on top of it. So Dior Show. The brush is obviously totally different. Doesn't like help coat the lashes as much. With the Dior Show, I definitely found that you kind of have to wait for it to dry or it's just totally gonna wipe off. We're gonna go back in with the YSL the Shock and see how it applies. So there's a side by side. Actually not that big of a difference looking back at it. Now we're gonna go in with, we're gonna do our eyebrows. I'm just gonna do the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which is my go-to. And then we're gonna top it off with some Gimme Brow. I don't really have a comparison test for this, just because this is the only stuff I ever use. And then I'm gonna go over with the Benefit Gimme Brow. Okay, so we're gonna use Peter Thomas Roth on this side and the Hoola bronzer on this side. This is just like so easy. Just throw it in. Kind of bronze yourself. Just gonna have to dip this in. Definitely don't want to add too much just because you don't want to look muddy. I'm not like a bronzer connoisseur, although I do have a lot. I think they both look good. I'm so bad at this. So this I'm actually really excited about because I love both these blushes so much. Orgasm was like my first ever blush, and then this Milani one has been something I've just been using for the past like 2 years. And smell, and then you just pat it along your cheek line. I'll use the other side of this to go into the NARS Orgasm. Brush it on the same way. I definitely like the Milani Baked Blush better. I think I'm gonna actually go back to it. It just gives such a beautiful glow. It's drugstore, it's so cheap, and it is just the best. Oh, that's the mirror down here. Hi. Hi. Ooh. Girl, my lips are crusted. We're gonna set our face with Smashbox this side, MAC this side, if that's even possible. I'm just so loyal to Smashbox. They were like, I feel like they were like the original primer people. I'm gonna do the Color FX on this side and the Becca Chamois Pop on this side. And it's about to get crazy. Actually, I guess before we do that, we should look at the setting powder, or the setting spray. I feel like this side definitely is more dewy finish. This side's more just like regular. I'm gonna do the Becca on this side of my face. There it is. That's the Becca Champagne Pop, the one by Jaclyn Hill. And I mean, it works. It definitely works. It is also everywhere because I broke it. Not now, but before. So it definitely gives a nice natural highlight. So I'm gonna use the Cover FX. This is in the color Moonlight. And I'm gonna take the smallest amount. We're just gonna kind of put that, oh God, that was not a small drop. I'm gonna first bring it up and then kind of go up and down with it. Also gonna diffuse this with my beauty blender. Okay, so this is the Cover FX highlighting drop, and then this is the Becca. This side definitely looks so much more natural. Like so much more like skin. This side you can definitely kind of tell that there's a powder right over it. So let's go through everything and really pick a winner for everything I use. So for the foundation, I think I like the Clinique base primer. I definitely like the MAC Paint Pot. For the under eye, I like the Shape Tape. For the powder, I like the Charlotte Tilbury. For the mascara base primer, I like the Givenchy. The blush, I like the Milani. For the highlight, I like the Color FX. For the primer water, Smashbox, just because I'm loyal. Ooh, don't hate me. Okay, so yeah, I think that's that just about covers everything. I'm gonna take foundation off my lips. So that is gonna be it for me today. I hope you kind of like this. It was supposed to just be a wear test between the Clinique and the Shape Tape, but it turned out to be a wear test between all of my favorite makeups. I don't like pitting them against each other because I like to use one for different occasions. But I kind of thought this was like a fun taste test? No. This is like a fun little trial test. I don't know what I'm saying. I'll leave links to everything I mentioned down below as well as like my favorites. I'll put like a little star next to the winner. So yeah, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.